So we know how to split. You guys know how to do starts with. You just did that. And you know how to print something. If you use the end keyword and a space, instead of printing it on each line, it prints it on one line separated by a space. Okay. So let's look at replacing some value in a string, replacing substrings. So here's a string called values, and it has the number 1, and then a tab, \t is a tab. And then it has 2 and a tab, 3 and a tab, and then 4 and a tab, okay? So let me just do this so you guys can see that I'm not lying. And if I were to print that out, it's actually going to print tabs. Values equals, let me make sure I don't have this already, I don't, okay. So it was 1 and then a tab, 2 a tab, 3 a tab, 4, was it just 4? It ended. Oh, it's on the other page. Was it just 4? Oh, 5, okay. And 5. Okay, so there's my string values. If I just print it out, if I do like this and print it, it should print out the tabs. Sorry, I got started just a little early, but I figured you could catch up. So here's my string. It's got tabs. When I actually use the print function and print it, you can see it prints a tab out. It prints a big space. That's just really a tab. Okay. So we can replace the tabs with something else using the replace. So right here, values.replace, and this is saying I want to replace the \t with a comma. Okay, so I don't want all those tabs, so let's try the replace. So values.replace the \t, oops, string with a string that's just a comma. And now that prints us a new string. Let me get this back up here to the top for you guys. There we go. Where's my last? I have to type it. There we go. Okay, there's my values, and then if I replace it with a tab with a comma, I get that. Okay, so this is the replace function. I'm replacing a tab with a comma, which is pretty nice. And it does it throughout the whole thing. So now I have a sentence, or a string that just has commas instead of tabs. And I could do, I think this will also take a third operator, maybe not, let's try it. Let's see if I only want to do it for the first 2. Yeah. So if I put 2 there, it says, okay, I want to replace tabs all except the last 2. So I left 2 tabs in that string. So you could always add a third. Usually you can add a third argument in there. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Let's look at a couple more string things. Splitting and joining strings. Okay, so we looked at split. We've already used split. So here we have letters, and it's separated by commas and a space. If we say letters.split, but this time we have to say comma and space, because we're going to split by these 2 characters. It creates our nice little list. Because we did it before, when we split this, it didn't have any commas. It just split by spaces. So by default, it splits by white space. But this one has commas in it. So we have to say we want to split by the comma and the space. And then we get our nice little item, our list with 4 elements. And again, you could say split by a comma space, and then we put 2, and it's going to do all but the last 2. So this last element is still the C comma space D. So the second argument specifies the maximum number of splits. Oh, my bad. So it's just going to say we're going to do 2. It's not the last 2. Okay, we're going to revisit the join function that we just used. Concatenates the strings in its argument, which must be an iterable containing only string values. Otherwise, we get a type error. The separator between the concatenated items is the string on which you call join. So remember, we had a space here, dot join letters list. So here's our letters list. It's a list of capital letters, A, B, C, and D. We're going to join it, and in between each one, this time we're going to put a comma. So we get this new string. Before we used a space, remember? And then we tried a plus sign, and then we tried nothing. And it just put them all together. So, comma, string, dot join, letters list. We're going to join all these, but separate them with a comma. Okay. Here's another join function. We have the comma. We're going to join, and this is a list comprehension. Remember, a list comprehension is creating a list with this one line little shortcut. So we're saying we're going to convert I to a string for I in the range of 10. First of all, what does range 10 give me? 0 to 9, right? Integers. So, but we're going to convert each one to a string, all right? And then we're going to join that with a comma. So here is our result. We get a string 0 through 9. So this is string 0, comma 0, all the way through 9. Okay? Does that make sense? You guys following?
The range included the commas though, didn't it?
Mm-mm.
No. But it's a string.
Range 10 will just spit out 0. If I said for I in range 10, print I, it's going to go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No commas. So this is what adds the comma right here. This character.
Oh.
The first thing you put here is the thing that goes in between.
I forgot that was
each
not
number.
joined. Okay.
Yeah. Good question. Yeah, so there's a lot happening here. A list comprehension, which is creating a new list for us. Okay. So actually, this is creating, if we just did, let's just do that part and see what that looks like. First of all, in Python here. Actually, I'll just copy it here so I don't have to retype it. Let's do this list comprehension here. Put it in here. There we go. Okay, so this is going to give us a list of strings 0 through 9. See that? What if I took the string part out of here and I just said I? What do you think that's going to give us a list of? Integers. See the difference? These are strings because they have single quotes. These are just integers. Okay. So this is a list of strings, and then I'm going to join it with commas with that join command. So go back up here, and now I'll say comma dot join. And now I should get my new string separated by commas. And I could put like a plus sign in here, or let's do a pound sign, see what that does. So that separates everything with a pound. Or I could even put a tab in here. Okay. Not that I want to, but. Okay, so that's joining. Let's look at this split lines now. Or is everybody following me on this one? So joining and list comprehension. And now suppose we have a long line, multiple lines, and we want to split those. So here's a line, this is line 1, and it's got a new line, backslash in. This is line 2, backslash in. This is line 3. So let's print that out, and I'll prove to you that that is really multiple lines. Let's copy this, put it in Python. Let me do my os.system.cls, clear this, there we go. And let's paste this in. Okay, so now I have lines, and if I do print lines, you see that that is really 3 lines. I don't like that line 3 there. Need space there. There we go. So if I do print lines, you're going to see it's going to come out with 3 lines. Okay? All in one variable. The one variable contains these 3 lines. There's really a new line character right there, right at the end. It's a backslash in. Okay? So now we have a split lines function. Okay? That creates a new list with each line in it. Okay. So let's do lines. Let's split lines. And there's my new list. So now I have a list of each line. Right? Each line is an element. So the length of this list is 3. So that's another function, split lines, which is pretty cool. Any questions on that? Okay, we're rolling. We got a little bit more and then another class exercise. So no questions on what we covered so far? Everybody's got it? All right, so now we're going to look at characters and testing characters. And I think we've already seen a few of these methods. So a character is a digit, a letter, or a symbol, such as the $, the @ %, the star, the letter, capital letters, the digits, okay? So we could say, is digit returns true if the string contains only the digit characters 0 through 9. Okay, so this is a function we can run on a string. So this little string, separated by single quotes, minus 27 dot is digit, returns false. Why is that? Why did this return false?
Because negative's not a digit.
Negative's not a digit. Yeah. It's only looking for 0 through 9, not this little minus sign. But if I just put the string dot 27 dot is digit, it returns true. Okay. I think we looked at this one before. This means is alphanumeric. That's digits and letters. So 0 through 9 plus A through Z. Okay, upper or lowercase. So this is an A 9876. So it's got letters and numbers only. Dot is alnum, alphanumeric, and that's true. Okay. Only digits and letters. And here's a whole bunch of other ones. I'm just going to show you what they are. There's an is alphanumeric, is alpha, just checks for alphabetic characters, A through Z. Is decimal, returns true if the string contains only decimal integer characters, that is base 10, and does not contain a plus or a minus sign. Right? So we could have, it's almost the same as is digit. I think it's really the same as is digit, as far as I'm concerned. It just has, and it doesn't have, yeah, decimal integer characters, okay? So 0 through 9. Is digit returns true if the string contains only digits. Is identifier returns true if the string represents a valid identifier. Remember what an identifier is? That's our variable name, right? And what is it that a variable name cannot start with? Remember, there's certain things when we name variables that they can't start with. Anybody remember that from way back when? Can it start with a number?
I guess not.
Can I say 10 items equals 5? No, okay. So I could say 10 items dot,
No symbols either.
what is that called? Is variable? Or is identifier, right? And that returns false. So we know that's not a valid variable name. 10 items. Okay? You can't start a variable with a number or you can start it with an underscore. Let's try underscore. You can start it with an underscore, but you can't start it with a symbol like a dollar sign. This should say false, and it does. So we got is identifier. We have is lower. I think you've seen that. That's gonna return true if all the alphabetic characters are lowercase. So a little a, b, c, all the way to z. Is numeric returns true if the characters in the string represent a numeric value without a plus or minus sign and without a decimal point. I still don't understand what the difference between is numeric, is decimal, and is digit is. They all seem to be doing the same thing to me. Is space returns true if the string contains only white space. And white space is a space, a tab, or a new line. Is title returns true if the first character of each word is the only uppercase character in the word. And is upper returns true if all the alphabetical characters in the string are uppercase. So let's try a couple of those. Let's try the title one. So title is all, this is a title. Dot is title. That should return true. If any of these words starts with a little letter, it should be false. Yeah, and it does. Is decimal, let's say 2345.5 dot is decimal. That's false because I have a period in there. If I get rid of this, it's true. So what's the difference between is decimal, is digit?
So weren't we doing before some kind of method that was making things other than decimals, like Roman numeral format or something?
Yeah, that was
So
that was a
wouldn't
list. That was a dictionary.
That was just dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
There was
With the
not
key.
at any point we were using a method that was converting integers into something that wasn't a decimal. So I would think that decimal, the point of that would be to overlook it and check what its decimal value would be if you're not sure.
Yeah, you would think so, but it's like I don't know what the difference between all three of these is, because it seems like the definitions is exactly the same to me. Is numeric, is digit, is decimal. Because it says on the
Assuming that
definition,
every digit is a decimal, that is.
it says digit is a digit without a period or a plus or minus. Let's see. I don't know why I'm not even sure why they have all three of those. Is numeric returns true if the characters in the string represent a numeric value without a plus or minus sign and without a decimal point. Isn't that just an integer? Okay, so let me give you another little exercise to do at your desk. Let me pull it up to the top. So, true or false, just write, which method returns true if a string contains only letters and numbers? I want you to write that out. Which method returns true if a string contains only letters? And here's a variable called lines. This is line 1, this is line 2, this is line 3. There's 2 new lines there. Write a for loop to print out each line that is separated by a new line character in lowercase, each on its own line. So you need to write a for loop that'll take this and spit out this all in lowercase. Hint, use the split lines function. Okay, so that's your next little exercise. And we'll see if we have time for more after that. Yeah, good idea. Go take a picture.
Didn't we already
Make that
do?
bigger?
We already kind of did 3 earlier, right?
Kind of did it already. Kind of did it. Yeah, that's right. Let me make that a little bit bigger. Sorry, guys. You see if I can make it bigger first.
Or would you say if we're paying enough attention, we've done them all?
If you were paying attention, you should be able to answer all these
Well, yeah.
pretty quick. This board here. There we go. If you guys want to hear my little duo perform, we're performing next Friday at the Arizona Theater Company, 6:30 to 7:30. Hmm? No, we have a duo, a singing duo called Katie and Ray. It's Arizona Theater Company, 6:30 to 7:30. It's outside, so maybe it's free. I don't know.
How far is that from, say, here?
I know they're paying us, but I think it's for their patrons. There's a play there called Wild Horses, so we're playing all that. It's over there by Temple of Music and Art. Have you ever been down there? I was there a long time ago. I saw this bass player. It's kind of down by Armory Park. It's kind of downtown. Is it called True West? Yeah. Yeah, the guy that manages it, it's like he lives in my neighborhood. So he asked me a long time ago, hey, we need to get you guys to come play. And I'm like, sure, let me. It's like, I've heard that about 100 times. Finally, he came through, and they wanted to pay us $500 for 1 hour. And I'm like, that's too much. We can't take $500. I said, we'll take 300. Donate the other 200. Because usually we get paid about 200, 250. You know, we play at Ventana Canyon a lot. We get paid $250 for 2 hours at Ventana Canyon. So I think that's fair. All right, so who needs help? Let's see if we can, as a group, solve number 1. Which method returns true if a string only contains letters and numbers? What do you think, Baron? It's going to start with is. Is something. Is al num, yeah. Alpha numeric. So think AL is alphabetic and NUM is numeric. So letters and numbers. Yeah. So that's answer to number 1. Okay. So if it's just looking for letters, it's going to have something like is Al something. There's some more here. Alpha? Yeah, good. Is alpha, yeah. Okay, so you got 2 done. All right, so you guys help me. Let's write a for loop. So we've got this variable called lines, okay? And I said use split lines, okay? So first of all, what does split lines do? If I said lines dot split lines, what does that return? What does split lines return? It's gonna look at this new line, right? So go ahead, Tommy.
It returns a list by using split line.
Yeah. And each element is gonna be 1 line, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna say this is line 1. And then another element that said this is line 2. And then this is line 3. Sorry, I'm writing small.
But it's not gonna do much unless you say what to split it with, right?
Okay, so lines.splitlines returns this list. So if I say for I in lines.splitlines, I each time through is going to be one of these lines, right? And then I want to print, but lowercase, right? So how do I print lowercase? Yeah. I dot lower. It's a function. That's all you do. That's it. So try it out. I'll walk around and see. Just type it in and see if it works. It should work. Okay, good. Print item. Okay, good. Above and lower. Oh, you need that. Make that a function. Put left and right parens around the lower. Correct. Yeah, you got it. Anyone else got it? All right. Rashid. Line and lower. Yeah, that's right. That's good. Oh, for line and lines, yes. I like that better. Okay, you have to define lines first. Same thing, yeah. That's actually better. It's better terminology. You're getting close, yeah. So, you have to write those bottom 2 lines. So, lines, you're gonna have to write question 3, lines equals this line, and this line, backslash, you gotta create that variable.
I was thinking that maybe the,
Did you get it, Tony?
Oh, yes, thank you.
The R in our index, what, maybe stood for raw, is that possible?
No, it stands for right, yeah.
It stands for right?
Yeah.
Yeah, should be like
That's good. That's good. Excellent. Good work. Renee? Good. Oh yeah, you don't need depth. Just say lines or line equals, and then type in that line on number 3. Like this is line 1, and then you will have. Oh, we have to put a backslash in. Yeah. No, backslash in for a new line. Yeah, that's what you have to put in for the line. That's what it breaks down, yeah. Not at the end, no, but leave that one at the very end. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, you got it. Excellent, good work. Good. Yeah. Joel, you good?
Yeah.
Yep, good. Yep, excellent, good. Put the backslash there. Yeah, good. Okay, we're gonna need to, okay, to write lines, like on numbers, lines, you have to define that variable first. Lines equal, this is line 1, that's that. This is line 2, that's that. And then you use lines, that's split lines, print line out. All right, we got 10 minutes. Let's see if we can get through a couple more things. Yeah, so this is pretty much the answer right here. So you need lines equal, this is line 1, and then a backslash in. This is what breaks, this is what split lines does. It looks for the backslash ins. This is line 2, and then a backslash in, and then this is line 3. Right. So this is your whole solution right here. It's just 3 lines. So for I in lines.split lines, we'll create this, which has got 3 elements, and then each time I is going to become, I will take on this value, and then you're printing I dot lower. It's a function, that's why it has the left and right parens. And it's going to convert this whole thing to lowercase. All right, so raw strings. Raw strings are really cool in Python. I used to use those a lot. So remember when, if you try to type a backslash, you have to put 2 backslashes? Does this look familiar, like if you're trying to write your path to a directory? And you're going to have C colon backslash, 1 backslash, my folder, 1 backslash, my subfolder, 1 backslash, my file. This is what, when you do, let me get up to a prompt here, a command prompt. Let's see right here. Can I make this bigger? There we go. So see my command prompt, C/user, a colon slash. That's what it looks like. That's what you want it to look like. But in Python, to create that, you have to put 2 backslashes normally, because one of them escapes the other one. But if you put an R in front of it, this is called the raw text. If you put a little r in front of the string, you can write the string just like it is, and it works. Okay? So I used to use this all the time. It's a lot less typing. So if you ever want to use file structure like this, like you're trying to find a file or open a file, put a little R in front of it, and then your single quotes, and then you can just type your absolute path to your file right like that. Okay, you don't have to put 2 backslashes, you can just use 1.
This could also, if you for some reason needed to say backslash and it would make it not split the line, or just copy what you wrote exactly.
No, what this does, if you were to
Only the path.
if you were to set this file path equal to this, and if you print file path, it's actually going to print it with the 2 slashes. But it's just a shortcut, so you don't have to type them. You don't have to type
Okay.
2 backslashes for everyone.
So R only pertains to file
Hi,
paths.
sorry, I just wanted to check out the room, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, you're okay.
No.
Okay. This next topic. So anyway, so R is just raw string. It's really nice to use. I just wanted to show you that. Okay. We're not going to get through the rest of this today, and then next week we're going to go over new stuff. So suffice it to say, regular expressions are, you're going to hear about regular expressions sometime in your computer science career. Okay. It's really cool to understand what a regular expression is. And there's a module called RE for regular expressions. So if you import it, say import RE, then you can use this regular expression module. And basically it matches patterns. If you want to match a pattern, a string pattern, the best way to do it is with a regular expression. So the simplest thing is what they call full match. So you're matching a string with a pattern. So here's a variable called pattern, and it's 02215. It's just a string. And then we have this little expression here. We're going to print out match if RE, we're calling the module RE.fullMatch, if the pattern here matches this string 02215, else we're going to say no match. Okay, so if this pattern matches that, which it does, it's the same, we're going to print out match. If the pattern 02215, it doesn't match this, right? This is 51220. So we're going to print out no match. So regular expressions are pattern matching tools. To match strings are very powerful. I think we got 5 minutes. We can get into trying to match a zip code right now. So, and I think you'll understand a little bit better. Regular expressions. So it's full match, pattern, and string. So it'd be RE, regular expression, dot full match, and then you put your pattern in, and then you put your string that you're trying to match. They have meta characters, and the backslash is one of the meta characters, and that is what you use to start a character class. Each class matches a specific set of characters, okay? So, these are what we call meta characters, all these special ones here. And a character class is like the class, it's not that hard. So a character class \D in regular expression matches any single number 0 through 9. Okay? So if I put a \D here, and then I put this argument, which is the number of times I want it to match. So that's gonna say, I wanna match any single number, but 5 of them, okay? So this would be a way to check if somebody typed in a correct zip code, okay? So I'm saying print valid if regular expression dot full match, and here's my pattern. I'm starting with an R. For you have to use the R if you're going to use these special what do they call them? Meta characters. \D curly braces 5, and that's going to match 5 digits. Okay, so each one of these \Ds matches with 1, 0 through 9. So let's test it. We got a couple minutes. It's too bad we can't get into the rest of this. I might email this to you just so you have it to learn it. So we're going to import RE, regular expression, and we're going to say match if RE.fullMatch R, and then I'm going to say I want to match 1 digit but 5 times, and the string I want to try to match is, what's our zip code here? 85721. Okay. Else say no match. And that says match because I've got 5 digits. Let's make it 4 digits. Let's get rid of the 2 or the 1. No match. So that 5 is saying I want to match exactly 5 digits. Okay. There's another way to say that with a character class. We could say 0 through 9, and we could say 1 or more times. That should match. So this is another way to do a character class. So \D matches one digit. This matches 1 digit. Okay. If I follow this with a plus, it matches 1 or more digits. And if I do this is a character class. If I put a star here, it matches 0 or more. So this is just a brief introduction into regular expressions. That's a character class for digits. This is for letters. This would be lowercase letters. A single lowercase letter. This would be a single uppercase letter. Okay. So it's really a good way to, if you're going to write something that will validate if somebody's input a correct zip code of 5 digits, you could use a regular expression. So I'll probably email you the rest of my notes if you want to read them for the future. You'll have them. They're really cool. You'll probably get into them more later on. And we are done. Thank you guys. Have a good weekend. And you know what to do next Tuesday.